Hello and welcome to the Dragon's Lair podcast in association with Riverside Sports Bar, the home for live sport and great burgers in Newport. Joining me for this one is Gavin Thomas, who's not 100%. He's lost his voice apparently, or he's losing his voice, which is not great for a podcast. But Gav, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just winter bugs and standing in the field shouting at kids today wasn't helpful, but
Yeah, it's that time of year as well, isn't
uh,
it? The flu and the bugs are going round. So, yeah, speedy recovery, Gav. But you're with us tonight, and that's great. Also joining us is the man they are now calling Mystic Leclerc. He said Dragons will win 3 out of 4, didn't he? And we all thought he was on crack. He wasn't. Happy New Year, Gareth Leclerc. How are we, Gareth? All right.
All good. Happy New Year. Yeah, very, very happy. Obviously, it was expected, wasn't it? But no,
Expected.
but no, very, yeah, very happy with the way the boys are going at the minute. So yeah, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year as well. Yeah, great stuff. Right, let's get straight into it then. Busy pod, news desk. In news that surprised absolutely no one, Solomon Funaki has left the club by mutual agreement to return to New Zealand. The 31-year-old joined in the summer of 2024. But if you remember, he did arrive with a knee injury and then he got infected, unfortunately, following surgery. Funaki said, I want to thank everyone at the club, the coaching staff, the medical team and physios for all the belief and all the hard work that you put into me. I'm sorry that it didn't work out for me to get back onto the field, to give you what we all wanted and contribute to this great club. Thank you for all the support and love during my time in Wales. Up the Dragons. Now, look, I think we all knew this was coming, didn't we? And, we've joked about him being a Pontypool legend and all the rest of it. But jokes aside, it's quite sad it's turned out this way, isn't it, Gareth? It's a disappointment.
Yeah, it is disappointing, and I think it's been frustrating as fans because he was a big signing for us, and we needed that type of player. But I mean, I can only imagine how much more it was frustrating for Funaki himself. He's moved over here, he's wanted to make an impact, and been battling against pretty horrendous injuries the entire time. So do really feel for him. Wish him all the best moving forward. Hopefully, at some point, he's back on a rugby field somewhere. But yeah, big shame. Disappointing, but yeah, I feel for him really. However we feel, it must be tenfold for him.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I do remember saying to you, I think I said on this pod as well, in the pre-season friendly when we played the Scarlets. Fadaki did play in that game. He come off the bench,
Yeah,
and he didn't look right then. He did
yeah, you
not
did
look
say,
fit, and
yeah.
I did say at the time, he does not look right. This guy, he had a hobble. He just didn't look fit at all. So I'm not surprised this has come to this. Although he did get to play a game or two for Pontypool and Newport, didn't he? But unfortunately, he never played a competitive game for the Dragons. It's a real shame. Gav, any thoughts on Funaki? We all expected
yeah,
this news, didn't
yeah.
we?
We knew it was coming, and I think it's the final cherry on the trifle of poor recruitment of the season previous into Cummins, Wilson, and Funaki. I think
Yeah,
between them, they managed a grand total of about 8 games for the club.
yeah. Says it all, doesn't it? But yeah, nothing more to be said. Just wish him all the best, really. Just a shame it didn't work out. Now, in other news that we have seen come in, we have to talk about because I think it's right to do so. Aaron Wainwright is leaving Dragons for Leicester Tigers. That's what the media reports are saying. Interestingly, the Wales Online report is saying that Dragons matched Leicester's financial offer. We actually matched it, but the player wanted a new challenge. So that means Wainwright is the third big name Welsh international to sign for an English club in the past month, with Ospreys pair Jack Morgan and Dewi Lake joining Gloucester. So yeah, very disappointing. We knew he was coming. We said on this pod, didn't we?
Hmm.
Several times that we think it'll probably be Aaron's last season at the Dragons. So it's not surprising. Disappointing, absolutely, but not surprising. I think bad news is easier to deal with when you know it's coming.
Yeah,
So I kind of prepared myself for this. It's when you least expect it, or if it's a boat out of the blue, that's when bad news can really hit you hard. But I think we all knew this was going to be Aaron's last season. We were under no illusions of that. We said so several times on this pod. Now, it's not been confirmed yet, by the Dragons. It's important to point out. But like I said, BBC, Wales Online, Rugby Paper, they're all reporting it's a done deal. So it is fair to assume that Aaron is going to be leaving the club and this will be his final season at the Dragons. Gareth, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, you can't not be gutted. He is a Dragons legend for me. He's been our best player, head and shoulders above the rest for quite a while now at the Dragons, and I absolutely love Wayno. Think he's not just an unbelievable player, but everything he offers as like an ambassador for the Dragons and rugby, the time he spends down Whiteheads, he's just an all-round great guy. Be sorely, sorely missed. But if you love someone, let them go. And I think it's probably his time. I'd really like to see him tearing it up and playing in some really big games for if it does turn out to be Leicester. I think they'll love him up there. They're having a great player. You could talk all day about how good Aaron Wainwright is. He is unbelievable. For me, he is of the standard that I wouldn't have been shocked. I said at the time, if he had squeezed into the Lions squad, I think he's that good. And he'll be putting himself even more in the frame, I think, playing hopefully in really big knockout games in the Prem finals and hopefully in Europe as well for Leicester. So really sad. You never want to lose a player of his quality, but 100% wish Aaron all the best wherever he ends up. Absolute Dragons legend.
Yeah,
you can't begrudge him wanting to do it, can you? He's been so
no.
loyal to the club and to the town and the region that him going to play, probably more successful rugby at a high level. Well, absolutely, I want it for him.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting as well, and this is only paper stuff, but in the same report talking about the way it identified a non-Welsh qualified player who would replace him.
Yeah.
Be interesting as who that is, because we've heard this before. We've heard we're going to get marquee players and stuff before, and didn't happen.
No, absolutely. And I was just about to come on to that. So this is what Steph Thomas wrote in this article for Wales Online when covering the Wainwright story. He said, while the loss of Wainwright will disappoint Dragons fans, power brokers at the club are extremely confident they will have a stronger squad for the 2026/27 season. Wales Online understands the Dragons have targeted at least a couple of high-end international class players to bolster the pack and have a big name replacement in their sights. Steph Thomas later said on his X account that Dragons have targeted and I quote, high-class, non-Welsh qualified replacement. So that's very interesting. It sounds like the Dragons are preparing for life after Wayno. However, as you just mentioned, Gav, we've kind of heard this before, haven't we? We've heard this from Wales Online. Do you remember the days where we were linked to Quade Cooper and Nakawara and all this? So it's like, hang on, lads, we've kind of heard this before. And of course, we were promised a marquee player last season, wasn't we?
Guaranteed
and it never
one,
happened.
hopefully two. Yeah.
Those were the words of David Wright. Guaranteed one, hopefully two. Now, I understand the reasons why it didn't happen, but nonetheless, we were promised a marquee player and we didn't get one. So it's going to be interesting to see who we get and this big name international. But it's a hammer blow, isn't it? You can't really sugarcoat losing Aaron Wainwright, one of the best players in Welsh rugby and undoubtedly our best player. It's a hammer blow that just can't be sugarcoated.
Yeah, he's carried us time and time again, and he was brilliant again against the Scarlets. Interesting, though, that the quote saying that we believe we'll have a better squad next year than this year. And that was said last year online by Mr. Buttress when it was rumoured that Basham was leaving, which Tane Basham was one of our better players. We have to say it. But our squad is a lot better this season. And I do think we're in a position now, we don't need a squad overhaul. We just need to add genuine top-end quality to that side and almost raise the bar of what it needs to be a Dragon now. I think that bar from the bottom is getting higher. There's probably a couple of players maybe out of contract. We might not see their contracts renewed at the end of the season, but adding just a few quality additions could really take this team on a little further as well. But yeah, it's still losing Aaron's a big blow. But if we're in a better position next year, then great. That's
Yeah,
that's happy days.
and if we could get 3 quality players with keeping the majority of the current squad, you've got something to work with there, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting Gav mentioned team bashing because I said this after the game we was watching because Ospreys Cardiff was on, wasn't it, in the pub we watched that game. And I said to Gareth, I haven't missed Tane Basham at all.
No.
And I was gutted when Tane left, especially to go to Cardiff. But I haven't missed him one bit. And I don't think we, the Dragons, have missed him because we got so much quality now at 7. Harry Bedell is coming on a treat. Thomas Young is fantastic. We know Keddy can play there. We got Minto. We got so many options now, and not once have we ever thought during this season that, I wish we had Tane or, we could have done with Tane. I haven't thought or missed Tane Basham at all. But the difference is with Aaron Wainwright, I know we're going to miss him. I know we're going to miss him. His absence is really going to be felt.
With Tane Basham, like all the stuff that he used to do well, the kind of gain line stuff, well, Ryan Woodman's doing it and Harry Keddy's doing it. So we haven't, like you say, we've not really missed that.
No.
With Wayno, it's the leadership, isn't it? It's just the absolute willingness to run his guts out every second of the game. Be interesting to see who's out there though, because someone I was thinking about when I thought he would go would be Hoskins Satutu, but
Newcastle.
yeah, he's just signed for Newcastle, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For next season. Be a good player, big abrasive 8. But if there's someone out there like that,
that's the thing. We're in a very competitive market, isn't it? And with everything going on in Welsh rugby, do you think that hamstrings us with approaching players? And if they've got an offer elsewhere, the uncertainty might make it more difficult. So cheers again, WIU.
Yeah, that's the problem. I got a theory about Aaron Wainwright though. So the narrative is that Wainwright is leaving because of the uncertainty in Welsh rugby. I don't think that's the case.
No.
My theory is this, and I don't know if you agree or not. I think Aaron Wainwright would have left the Dragons regardless of the chaos in Welsh rugby or not. Because, well, why do I think that? Is because the fact that Dragons matched the offer of Leicester says to me that Aaron wants a new challenge and a fresh environment. I think regardless of what happens in Welsh rugby, I think Aaron was always going to leave this season. And I know the narrative is, Aaron's getting out because of the uncertainty and the chaos of Welsh rugby. I don't think he is. I think this is someone who just wants a fresh challenge, a new environment. He's done his time at the Dragons, and I don't blame him one bit. But that's my theory anyway. I don't think it would have mattered all this chaos in Welsh rugby. I think Aaron was always going to go at the end of this contract. He's 28 now, let's not forget. So if he was going to leave the Dragons, I think now is the time to do it. And it probably will improve him as a player. He's going to be playing in front of full houses every week. He's going to be playing Champions Cup rugby. So it's exciting. It's a great move for him. I'm gutted. Obviously, I am gutted. But I'm also happy for him at the same time, if that makes any sense. And you should never be happy. Does. You should never be happy to lose your best players. And yet I am happy that Aaron has the opportunity now to play at the big club in front of, packed houses, Welford Road, great support, good fan base, playing at a high level of rugby, Champions Cup rugby. I'm pleased for him. He goes with my best wishes. I wish him all the best. I'm disappointed, but I wish him well. I really do.
No, it does make sense. Sorry, Gav, go on.
No, go on, mate.
It makes complete sense what you're saying because I'm happy for him and not to be like Richard Collier-Keywood, but I even put on Leicester Saracens Sunday afternoon and I was like, come on, Leicester, because I'm thinking I want this club to do well now because our Aaron's going to be there.
Are you following the Richard Collier-Keywood logic now? So you're following players, not clubs now, are you? Is that what you're doing? Because that's what the WRU want us to do now.
Well, it wouldn't be much good because we'd all go be supporting English clubs, wouldn't we? But yeah, I do want them to do well because I want Aaron to be in a winning environment. I want to see him winning big games, and fair play to him. Good on him.
He deserves a place at the top table, doesn't he? And this is his chance to do it.
Spot on.
Yeah. And I know people are comparing this to Dowie Lake and Jack Morgan leaving Ospreys, but I don't think it's quite the same.
No,
because the Ospreys are shrouded in uncertainty. It's different. Whereas the
Yeah.
Dragons, okay, we're not 100% guaranteed our future, but we know that Pro Rugby is going to be played in Rodney Parade. We know East Wales. It is likely the Dragons will survive. So I think it's slightly different. We did have more certainty than the Ospreys are. So yeah, I just think he would have gone regardless. That's my theory. I might be wrong, but
No, I
you know,
agree.
maybe Aaron did want to get out of Welsh rugby. Maybe he did think, oh, I've had enough of this now and get out the goldfish bowl. But I don't blame him one bit. Like I said, we all saw it coming. Um, yeah, it's disappointing, but we knew he was coming and we wish him well. The only thing I would say though is we have got, I mean, I said earlier, I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it, but I don't think it's the end of the world completely because we do have very good back row depth, don't we? And I think this is the time now we really need to be pushing. I've said this many times in the pod. People like Owen Conker was really big potential. He needs to be brought through. And we got Keddy. How good was Keddy against Connor today?
Yeah.
You know, he was absolutely outstanding. Minto can play there. You know, we got options. We got Mackenzie Martin. Now that's going to be very interesting what happens with Mackenzie Martin now. So Mackenzie Martin's out of contract at the end of the season. Okay. So when he goes back to Cardiff, he'll be a free agent. So I know the Dragons have targeted an overseas signing, but do they also now try to sign Mackenzie Martin permanently? Could he
I hope
be
so.
the successor to Wainwright?
I, I,
Would we like to see that?
I would like to see an experienced player come in, but I would also like us to sign Mackenzie Martin as well because it's squad depth. You know, if you think all the way to the beginning of this pod, Jamie, what have we been saying? We lack depth in the squad.
We do.
We're getting there now. We're getting there that we do have some depth in the squad. So we have to make sure that we don't weaken it. So I think two back rowers would help us out.
Yeah.
I,
It's
I,
just ironic though, isn't it? Because we talk about, yeah, the Dragons do lack depth in certain areas. So back row is an area where we've never lacked depth. We've got too many options, haven't we, actually, when everyone's fit. But I get your point entirely. I would like to see Mackenzie Martin stay.
yeah,
I think we should
100%.
make that offer. The only thing I would say though is obviously, you know, he's from he's a Cardiff boy, but there are reports that Tulupe Falata will be moving on from Cardiff at the end of this season. Now, we heard that last season and Cardiff signed him. I think it was for a year, but there are reports that he's going. So I'm just wondering if Tulupe Falata does leave, does Mackenzie Martin think, well, I'll go back to Cardiff and that gives me the opportunity then to take, you know,
but
Falata's position and get
he's
more
down
game
the
time with
pecking.
Cardiff.
He's down the pecking order now, anyway, isn't he? Because there's the other lad who's been playing at 8, whose name is completely
Well, Alan
Lawrence.
Lawrence has
Lawrence.
been
That's it. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you got both of them who can play there as well. You know, they have got options, but yeah, I'll just find it interesting now to see what we do
Yeah,
with Mackenzie
I'd
Martin.
like to keep him. I do agree with Gav though that I want to see us bring in experienced quality. Mackenzie Martin's good and has the potential to be great, but I want ready-made players. We're sort of riding the crest of a wave at the minute with our form, but this it still isn't a side that wins often, and we do need to add quality additions.
No,
So yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we are targeting a high class overseas player suggests to me that the owners are committed and they
yeah,
want to invest in the region. And that's good. That's positive. That's
yeah.
really positive.
Wonder what other positions we'll be after.
Who knows? But I'm
I'd
also
like,
skeptical because we have heard this kind of talk
Yeah,
before as well, as we all know. So, you know,
I'd like a 10 and a winger.
I think we need to keep bolstering the
agree.
pack. See,
Oh yeah, well, always bolster the pack. Another second row wouldn't hurt, would it?
no, no,
Yeah, 10 and winger for me as well. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
yeah.
Because you know, I'd be interested to see if we could keep hold of Dlamini. He's looked solid enough.
Yeah.
He's not quick, bless him, is he? But you know, you're not getting a 20-stone tight there to be quick.
Definitely not.
No.
No, you're not. So before we move on, speaking of Mackenzie Martin, I want to clear something up because this is what a lot of supporters have been asking about Mackenzie Martin because he hasn't been seen for a while. So at half time during the Dragon Scarlets game, I was queuing up for my halftime treat, cup of tea and a Kit Kat in the Bisley. Mackenzie Martin walked past, he had a leg brace on. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, you know? He wasn't hobbling or anything like that, but he was wearing
Oh,
a leg brace. And I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here? Because he wasn't on the injured list. So we haven't seen him for a while. What's going on? So I did some queries. I made some queries because I know people. And I was told that it's just a precaution, the leg brace. He's not on the injured list currently. And the reason that we haven't seen him is because there's just a lot of competition in the back row. So the good news is it's not a serious injury. He's not being classed as injured. But when I saw that leg brace on, I did think, oh. But for those asking, because I get a lot of questions, where's Paya? Where's Spartan? Where's this? Where's that? He's okay. He's wearing a leg brace. It's a precaution. He hasn't been involved in the team because there's just too much competition in the back row at the minute. And there is, in general,
Yeah.
in honesty, there all is. It's very difficult to see where Mackenzie Martin fits in right now. Keddy is going. I think Keddy is playing his best rugby in years
Mm.
off the
We had no
bench as
Shane
well.
Lewis Hughes either, who's been
No,
one of our best forwards over the last year or so.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I hope that clears things up because I know there's been a lot of supporters asking about Mackenzie Martin. Yes, he's wearing a leg brace, but it's fine. It's precautionary, and there's just competition in the back row. That's all it is. Any other thoughts now on Wainwright leaving, or anything else you want to say around the news or recruitment before we
No, I
move
could
on?
praise Wainwright forever, but no, leave it there.
Yeah, Gavin, any other thoughts
no,
before we
no.
move on? No? Okay, great. Right. Let's review the action then over the festive period. So let's start with Boxing Day. So, somebody did say to me on the weekend, "Oh, can you just not talk about the Cardiff game? Just talk about
I
the
forgot
Scarlets
about this
game."
one.
Yeah, don't even talk about the Cardiff game. But no, if we didn't talk about the Cardiff game, it would be a cop out, and we don't cop out on this pod. So yeah, let's talk about what happened on Boxing Day. So Cardiff edged a victory against Dragons yet again, 22-19 the final score. Two tries by Shea Hope and a penalty try gave the Dragons hope of a famous comeback, but it wasn't quite enough as a hugely relieved Cardiff side squeaked home by 3 points. So here's my thoughts on this, right? My overall thoughts. Yes, it was another frustrating loss to Cardiff, but let's look at the context. Ignore the narrative. Look at the context, okay? A bonus point on the road against what was then a top three side. Given where we are, given where Cardiff currently are, I don't think that's a bad return, is it, Gavin? To be fair, we did give Cardiff a real good scare at the end, didn't we? There were some mightily relieved Cardiff faces. I thought, on the whole, we did all right.
Well, the thing is, we weren't in the game for 40 minutes, and to get back to where we were, I think is shows where we are now, but also shows, kind of what we could have done perhaps if we'd been a bit sharper. That said, I think we struggled with Cardiff out wide. Every time Josh Adams or Mason Grady got the ball, they were making yards and yards and yards, and our discipline let us down. But at the start of the season, we said we'd like to see some bonus points, particularly away from home. We've done well to do that.
Yeah, no, we have. You're right about the discipline. That is what really let us down in this game. So
That killed us.
15 penalties Dragons conceded compared to 8 for Cardiff. That was where the game was lost, I think. And we lost the breakdown battle as well. Dan
Yeah.
Thomas was an absolute pest all game. Compared to Thomas Young, who I have to say, and I love Thomas Young to bits, I thought he was very poor against Cardiff.
Yeah.
I expected a lot better from him. This was his first return to the Arms Park. You'd think he'd have a point to prove. He conceded 4 penalties. He didn't turn over any ball. I thought he was
Well,
very ineffective, it has to be said.
didn't carry well, didn't
No,
tackle particularly well.
yeah, very disappointing performance. But Gareth, what was your take out of this one from Cardiff? Yes, like I said, another frustrating loss, but we did get something out of it, which is good. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think, both of you touched on it. I think getting a bonus point loss away, that's important to us. That's what we want to see from this Dragons team. Put in the fight, stick in the fight, and come away with something. And if you took away all the history we have with Cardiff and how frustrating that is, you go, right, we've gone to a team who are really high up in the league, and we've come away with a point and could have nicked it. I'm like, that's exactly what I want for my away games. I want us to be in the fight, because if we're in the fight, sometimes we will get one over the line. But yeah, it is frustrating. I agree with Gav. Out wide, we struggled. Cardiff are a good attacking team, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can't stand Cardiff, but they do play some good stuff. And yeah, the discipline let us down a bit. But if in the context of that, with New Year's Day, taking a bonus point loss and a bonus point win, 6 points, I'd have taken that beforehand. I'd have bit your hand off for it. So yeah, pretty happy with it, to be fair.
Yeah. And to be fair, we did say that Scarlets was the one we were targeting. That was
Yeah,
the big one.
yeah.
We wanted like at least a point from Cardiff, which we got.
Yeah.
And then we won the big one. But there were positives to take out this game. Shea Hope backed up his performance.
Oh, it's fantastic.
After
Shea Goat, we're calling him.
Goat.
Greatest of all time.
Shea Goat. No, that's going to stick that one, isn't it?
Awesome.
2 tries. Absolutely smashed Cam Winnett, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if you remember that tackle.
Yeah.
Robert Hunt's line break in the second half. Did you see that line break?
Yeah.
He had no support, bless him. What a line break. By the way, him going off with oxygen as well, I'm like, yeah, he's going to be out for a while. How he made it for the Scarlets game, how he recovered
It's
in
quite
time
biblical,
for that
really, wasn't it? He
incredible.
rose 3 days later, like it was, or 6 days later, really.
That looked a really nasty injury at the time, though, didn't it? You're thinking, oh my God, this could be quite serious, you know?
He just wanted a breather.
We have flogged in mind, haven't we?
We have, bless him.
I used to play with a tight end. He passed away now, sadly. And then, like, if we were on top, particularly in attack, he would just sit down on the touchline and wait for us to finish the attack and then move up into defence. Because he didn't need to run around a lot, like, you know.
But fair play to Robert Hunt. What a signing he's been. Terrific.
Class, yeah.
I tell you what else I enjoyed. Tina Stabia's cover tackle on Mason Grady.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make that tackle, Grady's going
Grady's
over.
in,
What
yeah.
a tackle that was. Excellent cover tackle. Yeah, Mason Grady caused us a lot of problems in that game. Fair play, and he deserved play with much. Mind you, we didn't have such a good game against the Ospreys, did he?
He was anonymous against Ospreys.
Yeston Hopkins ran rings around him, completely won that head-to-head battle. He was brought back down to earth, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around Mason Grady. I like him, but sometimes I think, does he justify the hype?
He made the error as well, didn't he, for one of our tries where Nisi picks it up and
he did.
Does his thing, didn't he?
It wasn't a perfect performance at all for
No.
Mason Grady, but he was very good and he did cause us a lot of problems, but he completely failed to back it up against the Ospreys.
He's not great in defence.
No.
Yeah, where he's strongest is give him a couple of yards of headroom and give him the ball, and he'll take you over the game line. But yeah, defensively, he can get pulled out of position a lot, which is why I don't think he's a 13. But
yeah, spot on. I think he's definitely a wing. I probably still would have him in the Welsh squad despite his sort of failings, just because he's got the X factor going forward, isn't he?
Well, he's better than the majority of the other options we've got there, isn't he?
But he was playing on the wing for Cardiff against us, wasn't he?
He was on the wing.
Yeah, as he was against Ospreys. But I guess, and some people think he's our answer at 13. I don't think he's our answer.
No, he's an option at wing. I do like Mason Grady, and I do think Welsh rugby needs Mason Grady to kick on. You know, I think the national team could do with someone like him, but Ospreys completely nullified him. What else? Ben Carter, 23 tackles. Another excellent shift by the unheralded Dragons co-captain. I'm going to talk about Ben Carter in a bit now because I've got a hot take on him. I'm going to save that. But overall, I think for me, look, I like the spirit and fight that we showed in that game. There was a period in the second half where our discipline and error count was going through the roof, and it really let us down. I think it was that 20-minute period, wasn't it, in the second half? And that's when Cardiff got on top of us. And when Cardiff went 22-12 up, you're thinking, they're just going to run away with it now. They were going to get the bonus point. But they didn't. We did not allow them to get the bonus point, and that's down to our resilience. We didn't crumble. And previous Dragons teams would have gone to the Arms Park and they would have crumbled. We didn't. And I think for me, Cardiff's wild celebrations at the end of that game actually give me validation that we gave them a really good performance because they knew they'd been in for a game. They thought they were going to run away with it. They thought we were going to, roll over and tickle our berries. That didn't happen. We pushed Cardiff all the way. Okay, we didn't beat them again, but we give them a bloody good game. So I'm pleased about that. And we did come away with something. So overall, yeah, not bad. Not a bad return at all. So that was Boxing Day. And then we had the big one on New Year's Day. And my goodness, what a performance. What an atmosphere. What a day. Dragons are going to enjoy this. Dragons 28, Scarlets 5. I repeat, Dragons 28, Scarlets 5. A comfortable bonus point win over the
Oof.
West Walian rivals
Oof.
for Dragons to record their third home win on the bounce in front of a crowd of 8,369 people. Really good attendance. It was lovely to see Ronnie Parade full and bouncing. Now, I've got a question for you two, okay? That was 3 wins on the bounce, 3 home wins, right? Do either of you know the last time Dragons won 3 home games on the bounce?
Oh, I saw this. It
Oof.
was 2022, or was it 2020 that I saw?
What are you
Trying to
going to
think.
go with? When was the last time we won three?
Did we have a good start under Di Flan
2022,
when he took over?
2022, I'm going to say.
Right. Do you want me to tell you the last time the Dragons won 3 consecutive home games?
Yeah,
Go
go
on
on.
then.
Because it's actually a lot sooner than you might think. It was New Year's Day 2024.
Oh,
That was the last time we won 3 games on the bounce. Oyonnax, Ospreys, and Scarlets. And that was under Dave Flanagan in 2024.
Never.
It's surprising, isn't it? Because you think it's going to be, you
Yeah.
know, much earlier than that, but no, it was very recent. Because I saw a few questions saying, when was the last time they won 3 home games in the spin? Do you know how
oh,
long ago was that? Not that long ago, believe it or not.
I can't even remember the last time we lost a game. It's
Gareth. Oh, what are you like? So it was the Dragons' joint biggest derby win with a 23-point margin, sharing top spot with the 48-25 victory against Cardiff
Whoosh.
back in April 2004. So yeah, those are the days when we used to smash Cardiff. But yeah, so it's hard to know where to start with this. What a day! What a performance! What an atmosphere! Absolutely loved it. Oh, go on then, Gareth, take it away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely loved it. Thank you, Dragons, for that New Year's gift. That was amazing. And, it had been coming. You joked earlier about, I said we'd win 3 out of 4, but we'd had 2 draws. We'd pushed Leinster. Like, it was coming. And I think the boys now, they're getting the results that they deserve. We got that game against Lyon over the line. I think the belief has grown. Playing with a bit more bravery again, and we're backing ourselves. And you could never have questioned the commitment in that side, but we really put them to the sword. I think once we were ahead, we were never going to lose. And that's not really something you feel as a Dragons fan. But I genuinely just felt, even at half time at 7-5, I turned to my own man. I said, I think we'll blow these away now. And he
Yeah.
was looking at me a bit puzzled and looking at my pint. But the Scarlets pack, and they started with 20 kilos on us. It's not a lot, but they were the heavier pack. But I felt we dominated them,
Yeah.
and defense won it. Great to see us scoring tries, and we'll touch on them. And I know you already mentioned you want to touch on Carter and a few others. I feel like I could name every single player. We played so well, but like Carter's defense, he really holds a player up. Wainwright and Carter are 2 players. When they absorb a tackle, they really hold the player up, slow them right down, and we get set in that defensive line and we can be aggressive. We were shutting the Scarlets down, who were finding they had to play deeper and deeper, and we were just cutting this space down. And Nisi making good decisions at 13. We were aggressive, exactly what you want to see in a derby. It was absolutely brilliant. The atmosphere, absolutely amazing. I feel like I could genuinely, like I said, touch on every single player's performance. There was so many players to call out, but it was just all beautiful. The singing was fantastic. I mean, some of it, the Dragons fans, we probably got carried away towards the end when we're singing, "You can shove your fucking saucepans up your ass." But, it's a derby. We don't win that many games. We had to give it some. And just even the players were getting their own songs. There was "Oh Harry Birdle" ringing around the terrace as well. Like there was a lot of that going on. It was just it was amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Just really though looked comfortable and looked the better side, and like we knew we were the better side. Foot on the throat, killed them. Absolutely class. Loved it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the hardcore fans on the terrace, by the way. You guys were in excellent form. Chance included, the ones you just mentioned, but also you're getting sacked in the morning. Which,
Yeah.
okay, it's not original. It's been sung up and down in stadiums across the country, but it's quite funny to hear it at a rugby game. West is best. You're having a laugh.
Yep.
Um,
That
were
was
there
fun.
any? Were there any other chants, Gareth?
We are Carmarthen Council. We own all your ground. That was a good one. That was quite fun. Are you watching WRU?
Right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and obviously all the standard Dragons runs as well. Yeah, people were in really good voice. It was great fun.
It was
My
bouncing.
hand was sore from smacking the boards. The next day, I was like, "What have I done to my hand?"
Oh, it was a brilliant day, wasn't it? Gavin, what was your thoughts watching on TV? What did you make of it all?
Well, I thought first half, and the stats kind of support this. Scarlets had plenty of ball, had plenty of territory, just did nothing with it.
Yeah,
But their discipline was very poor. And we just punished them every time they made an error. We punished them. Because they should have scored more than they did, but we defended really well, but they were really sloppy. And I think a bit like the Connacht game, we made them sloppy because we were so aggressive. Everybody was just getting absolutely stuck in. Ben Carter was a great example.
yeah,
Tinas de Beer, who I've not been singing the praises of wildly. I thought he had one of his best games because he just defensively, now that's not what I want from a 10, but Joe Hawkins had no idea what was going on because every time he got the ball, he had 5'9" of angry South African around him at all times. So
Yes.
he had no time to do anything because it wasn't just a back row up in his face. The beer was constantly up in his face and his decision making fell apart. I think we did well under the high ball, which we haven't always done this season. You know, we looked quite assured there. You and Ross, I thought, did well on the high ball. Di Richards, who, you know, we've not been the greatest fan of, but I thought he tried to finish his try superbly well.
Up against two international wingers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And turned
They
them
did
both
well.
inside out.
Did really well. Yeah,
Well,
he did. Yeah.
but like the one that stuck out for me, Ben Carter had a great game, I thought. Just so aggressive,
yeah.
but in a really kind of understated way.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I thought some of Martinez's tackling was
Oh,
superb. There was a couple where I'm like, oh my God, don't drop him, don't drop him. But he managed to get him down. I thought Harry Bedell was, you know, what we've been crying out for. You think, oh, why is our ball so slow? And then you just see this little kind of yellow shape hunched over the ball. And even if he wasn't winning the turnover every time, he slowed it down so much. And Shea Hope had another superb game.
So
It's
good.
it's the
So good.
timing of that pass to Di Richards which creates
Yes.
it.
oh,
Because
Beautiful, wasn't
he
it?
just keeps that Gareth Davis interested long enough for Gareth Davis not to go into the space. And he was lovely.
Yeah, it really was. My takeaways from the game, Ollie Burrows.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
oosh.
What a season he's having. Brilliant yet again. One try, 19 tackles, 100% in the line out. Can we talk about that touch finder
Yes.
on his left peg? Did you see that?
Yes.
How amazing was that? And he was so close to be the 50-22. Honestly, this kid is
But
brilliant.
it wasn't panicky. He's looked up,
No,
he's seen where the spaces, and he just hoofed it.
but I was told his old man was a good footballer as well. So maybe that's where he's
Oh,
got it from. But I thought that was brilliant. And listen, fair play to Ollie Burrows, right? Injuries opened the door. I know some fans were a bit skeptical. They wasn't sure about Ollie Burrows. I championed him from the very get-go, didn't I, Gareth? I
you
told
did.
you
You did.
there was a player there. He just needs opportunities. And he's grabbed this opportunity with both hands. And we've got a problem at hooker now, but it's a welcome problem because I've got no idea what happens when Brodie Coughlin and Elliot D return from injury, right? Someone's going to miss out. Also, you add George Robertson to the mix. who, by the way, scored the greatest non-try ever.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
so good.
what a
Thomas
finish.
Young, you got in the way. It was rightly ruled out. I know some people
Yeah.
say it should have stood. He was just in front. There was a bit of obstruction. I get why he was ruled out, but honestly, that was one of the greatest non-tries you'll ever see. But how good has George Roberts been since his arrival from Doncaster? We have
We,
got now an embarrassment in riches at hooker.
if you consider all the Welsh qualified hookers playing in Wales, I'd say of the top four, three of them are Dragons players.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. And I quite like what Sunday Times journalist, well, former Sunday Times journalist now, because he stepped down this week. Sir Clive Woodward's number one fan, Stephen Jones.
Award-winning rugby journalist Stephen Jones.
Yes, he stepped down now. This is what he had to say about the Dragons and their hookers. He said, Dragons have been short in some positions for some time. Slightly ironic then that they now appear to have about 20 top-class hookers. I mean, it's a fair point, isn't it? I mean, I have no idea what happens when Elliot Dee and Brodie Coghlan return. And then you got George Roberts and Ollie Burrows. Because you can't drop Ollie Burrows in this form, can you?
He was immense.
Someone's missing out. Someone's missing out. And it's a nice welcome headache to have, though, isn't it?
His attitude as well, like he's so aggressive, his counter-rucking. Twice he sort of one the ball came out and we got the ball. The one we won the knock on from Gareth Davis. And he smashed Henry Thomas. I think it was after that Martinez hit.
Yeah.
And he gives him some abuse as well on the floor, like shouts at him. I just love that. It's a derby game. Like, he was so up for it.
He
so
tapped him on
aggressive.
the head, didn't he? He tapped him on the head and had the sense of it.
Absolutely love that. Like, I love it when players are like, they really show they want it and they're just being aggressive. And that's what I feel a pack representing our region should be about. Oh, it's just, so aggressive. He was class.
But the pack did really well, I thought. And Martinez, I've never been that convinced as a scrummager, but he scrummaged really well. And I thought, when Martinez went off and when Hunt went off, I thought, what's this going to look like? Nah, it didn't change. Admittedly, we had a British Lion coming on and a massive South African. But, and we dominated them. Absolutely dominated them.
Our pack can look like we can just mix it up now, can't we? Whoever's picked looks like they've got a position. I wasn't sure beforehand. I think Woodman at lock. Love Woodman, by the way. Like, what a player. But I was thinking, I feel like he's a 6, but...
Oh, he is a 6. He's not.
I think he's still a 6. Yeah.
A couple of people, though, said on the terrace, they were like, look at him stood next to Cartermind. He is massive. And we're like, yeah, fair play. Woodman he must still be growing because he looked big, but he had a great performance. You've mentioned
he has
Carter.
bulked up. I noticed that. He has bulked up.
I reckon he's put on 7 to 10 kilos in muscle mass.
He's gaining post-contact meters and stuff now, which is important. He looks, and his lineup works great. Can I mention Shea Hope as well, Jamie?
You absolutely can. Yeah.
You mentioned in that Shea Goat, v Gareth Davis. And like Gav Davis has rightly so had a lot of plaudits lately, and he's been there, done that, he's been quality. But Shea Hope had the better of him. You mentioned that show where he holds the ball for Di Richards to hit that line. I mean, I must have watched about 30 times. At one point, I was talking my wife through it frame by frame, and she has zero interest in it whatsoever. But I was like, this is so quiet. It doesn't look like much, but it's proper class. But my favourite moment is he took a quick tap and he got pulled back for it. Cheers, ref. Even though he was pretty much on the mark. Shows he wants to play at tempo and he's getting to the rucks quick.
Oh yeah, if he'd taken that way, that was a try. That was a try into the post, wasn't it?
He was looking really dangerous, sniping around, and you could see he was chirping at Gareth Davis a bit. We kicked the pen to the corner, and Gareth Davis got subbed off. So Gareth Davis walking up the touchline. We then gave away a pen at the line out. So Shea Hope's jogging back, but he jogged the entire way back, just staring down Gareth Davis. Wasn't watching play. Gareth Davis walking up the touchline to go to the dugout. Shea Hope did not take his eyes off him. And I just love that. He's got a bit of swagger about him. I'm just like, that's exactly what I want from a Dragons team. A big, nasty pack with an arrogant, cocky 9 just pulling the strings. I'm like, I could have
Well,
watched that game all day. I didn't want the final whistle to go.
and just imagine if we had a creative 10 playing off him. Oh,
Yeah,
that yeah, and Tinas does everything he needs to do. He's very competent, and I love his aggression. He's like another flanker. But just imagine like a creative 10, and you could. It doesn't mean there's no place for Tinas. I was thinking about this after the game. It'd be a bit like when we had Bigger and Anscombe in the Welsh team,
mm,
and you have Bigger on for the first 50 minutes just to control the game, knock people over, shut down channels, and then you bring a creative 10 on in the last half hour to run at tired legs and create space. It'd
yeah.
be a good pairing.
Yeah,
Oh,
we do definitely more depth at 10, don't we, as well? So, because Angus is definitely, for me, class at 15. I said I wasn't going to mention every player, but we're almost there. Um, Angus O'Brien's touch finders as well.
very good.
Yeah.
It's
Very, very good.
unbelievable. Also ballsy. Like, he's going for broke every time. And fans, if he misses one, right, we just got to back him because you're going to miss one. When you're going 5 yards out all the time from so far, the odd one he's going to miss. He was spot on, though, on New Year's Day. And it just, as forwards, you must be loving that. He's given
He's,
us an opportunity to strike.
yeah, I was quite critical of him at the start of the season, uh, and we've been critical of the coaches and the attacking particularly. And we've got to be really, Angus has played superbly well last 3 or 4 games, and the attack has looked like something else, doesn't it? I now know what our attacking structure looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the attacks. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, Angus, as much as I love him, he does frustrate the hell out of me as well because he misses
Yeah,
kicks in front of the posts,
Yeah, yeah.
but then he can score conversions from the edge of the touchline. Make that make sense. How does he do it? How can he score the hardest conversions at an angle, but he misses them in front of the post? Now, he did it against Cardiff, right in front of the post, and he did it against Scarlets. I love Angus to bits, but Angus, come on now.
He's a concentration player for me. It's not about skill. He has tiny little lapses in concentration.
But then you're scoring from the edge of the touchline.
Yeah,
And you're like,
because
well, why did you score that, but you couldn't score one right in front of the posts? It don't make
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
that's why I feel we need a top 10. Take it off him. Let him just play his game.
But he's a better goal kicker than De Beer anyway.
Oh
So
Yeah, he
we
yeah,
is.
have to
Yeah,
persevere with
yeah.
him. But
He's been fantastic lately. The drive as well. When you've
oh
seen him
yeah,
live off the
yeah,
ball, he's always talking to the boys. And you mentioned there, Gav, you know what our attack looks like now. And I think a big part of that is Shea Hope. I've watched the game back several times. He gets to a ruck, picks up the ball and spins it, whether we're set or not. Because we've begrudged
yeah.
that we've not been getting set quick enough in the back line. We have no choice now.
No,
Shea
no.
Hope, he's really dictating that tempo, and he has got that ability, like we said, just to pick up the ball, hold it, look like he's got time. We're going down the short side a lot. I think last season we seemed to play from one touchline to the other and then back again. It was predictable and it really frustrated me. Now we seem to go down the short side. We're really working teams, but also making it easier for our
yeah.
big forwards as well.
No,
We're playing smart rugby.
we
I
are,
mean,
we are.
what is this? What is this
And
Dragons team? It's
I,
fantastic.
I frustrates me sometimes, but I like De Beer will always look for the wider pass. He's always looking to bring wingers into play.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. We've talked about attack improving. It's improved. Shea Hope at 9 has been a key
Yeah.
part of that. His service is fantastic. I think he's a very intelligent scrum half for someone so young. And I've said this before, and there's a lot of supporters saying the same. I love Rodri Williams. He is one of my favourite Dragons players. He is bang out the form though. And do
Oh
you
yeah.
remember last season, right, when Rodri was in really good form? We said every time Rodri went off and Dane Blacker came on, there was a drop off. Now, unfortunately, it's happening to Rodri. So when Shea Hope goes off and Rodri comes on, there's a drop off. The tempo drops, the service is slower. And it's been very, very noticeable now. And it pains me to say it, but Rodri is not in good form.
No.
He's really
Yeah.
not in good
There
form.
was two sort of errors. One there, the one Wayno makes a
Yeah,
massive surge off the back of the scrum, and Rodri doesn't get a clean pass away. So we have to go back. and I think he should have given it when he makes that half break because we've got a huge overlap. Yeah, frustrating, but I think we've got options there. I'd like to see Morgan Lloyd go.
What happened to Niall Armstrong? We were loving Niall Armstrong. He don't seem to get a look in
Niall
now.
Armstrong, and I think maybe we've gone for the bit of experience with Audrey, but I think the youngsters are really driving this team forward. Okay, you do have the spots of quality like Wayno and Angus who are experienced, but it is the youngsters who seem to really be the driving force. You see Woodman patting players on the back, getting going, and I think just in youth we trust.
Key for me, though, has been Anisi at 13.
Oh, he's been really good. We've only been calling for it for how long?
Yes, well, a while.
Yes.
Suddenly you've got a bloke who wants the ball and wants to run at opposition players and wants to create panic in defence and look to pass the ball and create space. And I think and Aaron has played superbly well last couple of games as well.
Yes, yeah.
He's been playing a really simple role. He's not been. I think with an Aaron before, it was always, well, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this.
But he's carrying more, Gav. Have you noticed that? He's carrying the ball and going into contact a lot more now.
And that's what we needed him to do because I think we were trying to use him as a distributor.
Yes.
And he was kind of neither one nor the other. He was kind of caught between two things. Now it's like, you get a ball, you run into the defence and see what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick thing about Shea Hope. As you guys know, because I sent you the photo, I was sat next to the Wales coaches again. Yeah. Tandy, Matt Sherratt, the most miserable man in Welsh rugby, Danny Wilson, who did actually smile at me and said hello. He actually smiled, Danny Wilson. He might have had wind, I don't know, but he did smile. He did actually seem in a good mood, Danny Wilson, bizarrely. So I sat right next to Tandy. And Shea Hope's having a store and I'm going, go on, Shea, go on, Shea. Oh, what a pass, Shea. Lovely, Shea. And I can see the corner of my eye. Tandy is smiling. I'm bigging up Shea Hope now. And one of the funniest things, I told you this in the pub car, but for the listeners, the general came on the field. Levi Douglas. As he came up onto the field, I turned to Tandy. I said, Steve, just letting you know, mate, he's Welsh qualified, mind. Just so you know. Matt Sherratt pissed himself laughing, right? Steve Tandy turned to me and he said, thank you. Fuck you. It was brilliant. They did leave early because I asked him, is he going to Bridge? And he said, yeah, so we'll have to leave soon to beat the traffic. They'd seen enough. We were smashing the Scarlets. The result was never in doubt. They saw Shea Hope tear it up. They saw Ollie Burrows tear it up. So they'd seen enough. But yeah.
I thought Levi coming on when he did was really interesting as well because we said this is where he'd really come to, his really shine. And he did. Whenever he got the ball, it was like desperate Scarlets defence knackered, hanging off him as he just kind of goes forward like Godzilla. He doesn't move at pace. He's just hard to stop. And that's why that's what we wanted. He came on and just made a difference. And how many times last season could we say anyone came off the bench and made a difference?
He's a unit, Gav.
Oh,
and okay, don't get me wrong, right? He's not the most mobile prop. If you want someone,
fit.
mobile running around the field, that's not Levi.
No.
But he is a unit. He's a good ball carrier, made some more big carries again when he came on. And he's good in defence as well. He's smashing people backwards. Honestly, he's not a bad option for Wales. I'm not saying he's first choice or anything like that, but to have him in the squad, I don't think it's a bad option.
Keep him away from Wales, thank you very much.
We don't want him playing for Wales 2 weeks. We don't want him getting injured.
No, thank you very much.
But if you want like a physical, and I do like, I am a big fan of a physical second row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do need one.
Boys, we've been crying out for someone like Levi for how long? Come on now. We've said on the pod ages. We've done this now for 3 years, haven't we, Gav? For the past 2 years, we were saying we need a big bastard burly. And the fans love him. General Levi, they do love him.
He was getting chanted at when he was on the touchline, when he wasn't even playing at one point, which was brilliant, when he was just going to warm up. But how much confidence is it giving us bringing on Levi and Thomas Young and Wyn Jones, British Lion? Like I'm just thinking... There's no way they're coming back. I'm thinking we're blowing these lot away. And Gav, you mentioned Nisi. He's been absolutely fantastic, but I just love any player that can just saunter around chewing gum as he's playing.
Great.
Just like,
It's
I just
great.
don't understand how you can do it, but
That
what a guy.
he does at least 7 different things that I tell the kids I coach not to do all the time. At one point, he was running and he had the ball out wide in one hand. I was like, don't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Absolute class.
He's playing his own game, isn't he? His reads at 13, he can sort of like go and just decide to also drift because he can turn on his heel, can't he? He's just got class written all over him.
Yes.
Oh, what a team!
What a team, what a result. But the thing
Well,
is, Anisi is classed as a wing/centre. I'm going to dispute that. I think he's a centre/wing.
slash wing, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
actually think Anisi, from what I've seen this season, I think he's better at 13.
Well, the thing is, when we were playing him on the wing, we were not getting our wingers the ball, were we?
No, but
So
he
we
hasn't got the
haven't
pace to
seen
play
him.
wing either, mind. He hasn't got
No,
the
he's not
pace to play.
electric, is he?
No, he's not. He's physical, but he's not
I
pacey.
feel like we do need physicality on the wing. And Gav, you mentioned Ewan Rosser and Di Richards had really good games, and
Yeah.
they were up against two international wingers, and they equipped themselves really well. But a bit of size and power wouldn't go amiss, would it?
No,
So
that's
good option with Mr. Paez when he's back.
well, that's the thing now as
Okay.
well. You know, when he comes back, which according to BBC will be a couple of weeks, we'll see. Mind you, they said he was going to be back in December, and
Yeah,
everybody thought he'd be back. But no, that to be fair to the Dragons, they never actually said he'd be back in December. The BBC
no.
said that, and I was told at the time by somebody at the Dragons that the BBC have been optimistic with that timeline. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll be back. Bernisi's been so good at 13. Like I said, we've been calling it for weeks. Right, I want to talk about Ben Carter now. Right. I'm just going to say this now. I might get stick from other fans. I don't care. Ben Carter is the most underappreciated player in Wales right now. And that's a hill
Yeah.
I'm prepared to die on. Okay? Because nobody, and I mean nobody outside of the Dragons, is talking about how good Ben Carter's been this season. And he is quietly having the best season so far in his career. He has been outstanding this season. He is leading by example, and by all accounts, he is a key member of the leadership group. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Thoughts on Ben Carter?
Well, I think
Absolutely.
we've both just talked about the physicality he brought in both games.
But do you
Absolutely
think he's
class.
having the best? I honestly think he's playing the best rugby so far of his career. I think he's
Yeah,
been
I'd
absolutely,
agree.
and it's really annoying me a little bit, and nobody outside the Dragons is talking about it. I think he'd be playing for any of the other three regions or another club in URC, we'd hear about it, but we're not hearing about it. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant.
He'll be in the Welsh side, though, I think.
He pretty well should be.
Yeah,
You
he's
He
know,
one of
absolutely
those.
should be.
he's a
He's one of those.
squad player, I think, because David Jenkins and
Yeah,
Beard will start. But
Dav Jenkins gets hyped up though because he's not playing in Wales, and it's
he is a
just
good player.
oh no, he is a very good player, yeah. But I do think sometimes you can't criticize players for some reason once they go over the bridge. But yeah, Ben Carter I think is fantastic. The thing is, he's not a highlights player,
No, he's not.
No,
so which not every player can be. And Ben Carter at what he does is fantastic. I love Ben Carter. I think he was aggressive, but I think you said understated aggression, Gav. It's like controlled aggression.
Uh,
He's not stupid. He's like the opposite of Ting Plumtree. He's just brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic. Very physical. Works so hard. He's got a massive engine on him. He's a lot bigger now as well in the last couple of years. I think he broke through so young for Wales. People expect him to just tear up trees, but yeah, goes about his business really well. Love Ben Carter. Really glad he's ours.
but it's what you expect of a second. It's what second row should be.
Yes.
Second rows do all the hidden horrible work,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
been doing it just steadily and consistently.
He's doing what all good second rows do, but the point is, I think he's having a really good season. Nobody is talking about it
No,
outside the Dragons, and I think
I,
he is quietly having an outstanding season. He's been so good,
I don't
really,
think,
really good.
I think only last couple of weeks have people been talking about our players in any form of positivity, haven't they?
Because we're winning games now.
Yeah.
That's what it is, But
Yeah, that winning does make a difference, doesn't it? I was frustrated after the Leon one there. All the write-ups about Woodman. It's like, well, if we didn't kick the winning kick, you wouldn't get these write-ups. You would have had the exact same game. So yeah, we need to keep winning though, don't we? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. Yeah.
we need to go to Benetton and win, and we need to win at home to Newcastle, don't we?
Yeah, of course. We'll talk about that in a bit. One of my favourite moments, and now, Gareth, you got a couple of very funny stories involving a Mr. John Fox, haven't you? Our friend, John Fox, who was recently on Scrum 5, running the Scarlets down. But before you, because I want you to talk about that, because it's very, very funny. One of my favourite moments from this game was Max Douglas when he twatted Harrison Keddie in the head. That's not the funny bit. That's not the funny bit. But when he did that, he got sent off, went for a bunker review. And then he was upgraded to a red card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see him on the big screen? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
He
did.
shouted fucking bullshit. My favorite one was everybody in the stadium just laughed at him. Everyone
Yeah.
just laughed at Max Douglas's face and him shouting fucking bullshit. And it wasn't bullshit. It was stupid. There was no attempt to rap. You twatted someone in the head. Off you fuck, mate. It was not bullshit. But
Flew off
I
his
quite
feet doing it
enjoyed.
as well. It was
Yeah, I
awful.
quite enjoyed him with this confused look on his face, shouting fucking bullshit, and the whole
Looked sick as
stadium
shit, didn't he?
and the whole stadium laughing at him.
Was he
What
the
a
lad who
great
was
moment.
he was sat in front of us, a couple of seats in front of us at Judgment Day, wasn't he? It was him
Was
and
he?
his brother. Yeah, him and his brother were sat in front of us.
Are you sure?
There was Australians with stupid haircuts sat in front of us who were in the Scarlet setup.
It might have been him. I didn't notice that. I'll be honest. If you did, then fair enough. But yeah, I just thought that was so funny. But when his face come up on the big screen, he was like, and then you fucking bullshit, and the whole stadium just laughing at him.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right, can you tell the story, please? Because this, well, two stories actually. One involving Cubby, John Fox's
the Cubby
brother,
one. Yeah, that
and
was.
I want you to tell us as well what happened when Foxy was in the car with Jamie Roberts.
Yeah, well, it started pre-game. Jamie Roberts and John Davis walking down the touchline, and everyone was abusing John Davis because of all his chum 5 comments, as you'd imagine.
Right.
And Jamie Roberts looked at the crowd and was like, "You're booing," and he went, "Me or him?" And everyone was like, "Him, John Davis." And then Roberts was sort of like, "Tidy, cheers, boys," like happy days. Cubby boy then walked past, I think, at half time, and my brother shouted to him, "Cubby, your brother's a wanker." And he went, "I know he is."
I've always liked Cubby boy.
Which was fantastic. And then, as you can imagine, the chants throughout the game were getting sort of funnier and funnier. And then on the way into town for a pint, we're crossing Newport Bridge. I was with my brother, storming ahead, full of excitement. I was like, "Is that John Davis in that car? Is that Foxy in this really classic old Porsche?" I was like, "It is. Oh, it's Jamie Roberts driving." So we're like, "Foxy, Foxy." He turns and starts waving to us, big smile on his face. We're like, "You stupid wanker, what are you saying now on Chum 5? What are you going to say next on Chum 5, Foxy? What are you saying?" Start giving him absolute pelters. Jamie Roberts is laughing his head off. All the traffic in front of him's gone, and he's just crawled the length of Newport Bridge at our walking pace so we can abuse John Davis the entire time. He looked petrified as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Poor old Foxy.
Yeah, dear me. Don't have a go
Brilliant.
at our Dragons, boy. He's on the hit list.
Oh, what a day. What a
It
day.
was class.
Yeah.
It was class.
Obviously
they were
not-
shit.
No, if you're a Scarlets fan that Ronnie Parade, obviously. Lovely family we met of Scarlets fans in the pub afterwards, didn't we, Gav? We got speaking to. Remember them? Did you remember them? You probably didn't, but
I
they
do
were
remember
sat
them, yeah.
right
I just
opposite.
remember saying to Scarlets fans, "Oh, there was a point that I thought, oh, are we going to win this?" And then we kicked off. And and they were just like, "Oh." Look, as a Dragons fan, it's not that often you get to be cocky. And I was like, I'm going to enjoy this as much as I possibly can. Might have been a bit insufferable. There was quite a few Scarlets fans around us in the ground.
Yeah.
But after 60 minutes, I don't know where they were. They'd either
Probably
just
gone home.
moved
They'd
away
seen
from
enough,
us or
probably.
gone home, but they
Yeah.
might have just moved to the other end of the stand.
No. To be fair,
So
the Scarlets fans of the pub, that family I spoke to, they were really nice and they were quite gracious, actually. They said, well done, good win. They wanted Peel gone, though. Did you
yeah.
see the tweets from Scarlets fans after the game? They had a right meltdown. One fan saying, I wanted Peel gone by midnight and all this. And did you see that image, that screenshot that went viral
Yeah.
of
He
Peel
just looked
up in the
haunted.
stand? He looked completely haunted. I actually, for a brief moment, felt sorry for him.
Well, it does
Just for a
crack me
brief
up
moment, I did feel sorry for Dwayne Peel.
because
Well,
where
you
we were
know,
all chanting
it's
Peel
his
out,
job,
he's
isn't
at
it?
the back of the stand, didn't he? He was at the back of
Yeah.
the oh, what's it now?
The
Not
Candleston.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Candleston stand. He's at the back, so it would have been ringing in his ears.
Well, you're all chanting against sacked in the morning. He's right behind you, mate.
Yeah, so good. I think the Scarlets fans were joining in. It's the only chant they enjoyed all game.
But
Yeah.
Dear me. Oh, and Dragons on Fire as well. Oh, God, it was so
How'd you
good.
go? Dragons on
Dragons on
fire.
fire.
Your
Your
defense
defense is terrified.
terrified. Yeah.
Dragons on fire. Na 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 na. Yeah,
That's
there was
class. That's
the
class.
crowd fair play. That was the best tune the PA played all game.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I've seen you had a little conversation online, Jamie, with the guy who does the tunes for Counting Dragons.
Oh, Luke Lewis, yeah. So
Yeah.
he works for Newport City Radio. So he does the tunes for County and Dragons. But I've got a little bit of a gripe because he plays really good music down at the County. He plays a lot of rock, a lot of indie. He plays like Skin Dread, the Pogues, really good, rock and indie. But for us, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't pay to come to a rugby match to listen to Take That. Do you know what I mean? Some of the music that was being played was
Yeah.
just absolute nonsense. And there was a few complaints about that on the forums as well, that the music being played during the intervals.
There's times when, all right, play a bit of music, but there's only a small stoppage in play, and we're singing like the Men of Gwent song. And you're like,
Yeah.
mate, don't drown us out. We're back in the boys, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
No, that's fair
I
enough.
think it is good and all, and it creates a nice sort of family atmosphere at times. But there are times you think, let the crowd do their work, mate. We got this.
No, that's fair enough. But I think the selection of music at our games compared to county is, I don't know. I don't like it. The county games are much better.
I went to the
music-wise.
county on, oh God, I don't know what the days are now. Monday the 28th, was it? We
They
played?
beat Crew, didn't they? Good
Crew,
win
yeah.
against Crew,
Basically,
yeah.
every time I go to Rodney Parade, we win.
That's not the case, is it? We know that.
no, that's absolutely not
That's
the
not the
case.
case, Gareth.
The last 4 times I went to Rodney Parade, I've seen my team win, and I can't remember before that. I probably won everything. Yeah, we never lose. It's a fortress, boys.
He's
Absolute
on one
fortress.
Yeah.
He's on one. Final thoughts on this game. Look, we were speaking about in the pub before the game. People ask me, "Oh, how do you think would today go?" I was quietly confident that we were going to beat the Scarlets, right? Because I don't know what it is with teams like the Scarlets and the Ospreys. Actually, I will always I will always back us to beat them at home because I know we've got a good home record against the Scarlets and the Ospreys.
We
So
all
I did
predicted
feel,
the home win.
yeah, I felt confident, quietly confident we would win. I did not expect the manner, though, of that win. And that's what impressed me. The fact that we battered Connacht and then we followed it up by battering Scarlets at home as well. That's 2 batterings in, the space of 3 weeks. That's very un-Dragons-like. Something is starting to click, especially at home, isn't it? And I think that loss, that really embarrassing, turgid loss out in Perpignan, who, by the way, beat Toulouse on the weekend, doesn't seem so bad now, does it? I think that's a turning point for this club because ever since then, things have changed. We have looked so much better. Something has clicked. I don't know what's happened. Like I said, maybe behind closed doors, there's been a kick up the arse. Maybe they've tweaked something in training. I don't know. But this looks a completely different team from the one that we saw in Perpignan and even before that. They're playing really good rugby. And, that was a good Scarlets team. Okay, Lousy pulled out, didn't he, just before kickoff. They didn't have Blaine Murray. They didn't have Jake Ball. But they still had guys like Fletcher Anderson, Gav Davis, Eddie James, Joe Roberts. They had a very good team. That was a very good Scarlets team on paper. And we absolutely battered them.
If you put that 15 out, but from both teams to the rest of Wales and said, right, pick a 15 from these two, the majority of Wales would pick more Scarlets than Dragons.
Yeah.
They're just littered with internationals.
That was a very good team that they put out there. Van der Merwe, Elias on the bench, but they
Yeah.
completely and utterly crumbled. They looked toothless. They looked
I,
absolutely toothless. And, Gavin, you mentioned it as well. Yes, if you look at the stats, Scarlets dominate the stats, yeah? They had more possession and they had more territory. But here's the thing. You can have all the possession you want. You can have all the territory, but it means nothing if you don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So you can pull over all the stats all you want. The only stat that matters is that scoreline.
they were
28-5.
severely lacking a 10, weren't they? It's Steph from the Rock and Roll podcast, the New Tradiga. He messaged me. He said, Joe Hawkins is a 10 in the same way that I'm 7 foot tall. And
Exactly.
if you've ever met Steph, he's about 5'4".
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. No, but I was saying that to the Scarlets lot in the pub after the game. I said, Joe Hawkins is not 10. They are better with Costello at 10. Also, I said to him, you're relying far too much on Gareth Davis at 9. Far too much. He's 35 years old now. Archie Hughes isn't great, but they're relying far too much. They rely so heavily on Fletcher Anderson. Brilliant signing for him. I actually thought we did a really good job of keeping him quiet,
Yeah,
even
we
though he
did.
did make the most carries.
Didn't
I
go
was
anywhere
really
though, did he?
No, but that was the thing. I was really worried about Fletcher Anderson, and I'd said to you, that's the man we got to stop today before the
Yeah.
game. And I thought we did a very good job of keeping him reasonably quiet. It was a good performance. It was a really good performance. Yeah, Scarlets weren't great. Do I care? No. Bonus point win. Fantastic. Who saw that
Absolutely.
coming?
Get in there.
Brilliant. Right. Any other further thoughts before we move on that Scarlets
No.
game?
No, just well done, boys.
Fantastic. Okay, so if, like me, you're bored of the same old blue and red bias on podcasts such as Scrum 5, then we are the podcast for you. By the fans, for the fans. So please share, spread the word with your Dragons mates. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. 5 stars will get you a shout out on the pod. And we've had some very nice comments and feedback lately, so I do appreciate everyone getting in touch. Right, Gavin, Gwent Rugby Roundup. What is the latest?
So, in the SRC, Llandovery 14, Ebervale 41, Newport 33, Carmarthen Quinn 7. And I know we've had a bit of back and forth about this, and there's lots of comments. Oh, well, Ebervale aren't doing what the SRC is meant to be. They're not the development side. No, they have got younger lads out. They aren't a lot of Dragons players, but they're winning rugby, and that's what the coach is there to do. But I understand perhaps they're not playing as many Dragons players as the other sides, but
I think it's the optics, Gav. I understand. I
yeah,
see both sides of it, right? So I've had people saying, why are Nebu playing Dragons players, whereas Newport are? Like, 'cause for Newport, against Carmarthen, you had Harry Ackerman, Jack Lloyd, Jordan Morris, Luke Yendall, Barney Langton Cry, and Noah Morgan. And then we didn't have any players for Ebervale. Now, to be fair, Owen Conker is out injured. Harry Rees-Weldon is out injured. I'm not sure about the other boys. And there is a perception with some supporters that
Bedell was
Ebervale,
in the Dragons side,
yeah,
so
Bevel, yeah, to be fair, Harry Bedell is allocated to Ebervale. Now he's involved with the Dragons, he's playing really well. But there is a perception with other club fans that Ebervale are not doing their bit to help develop Dragons players, and they're just playing their experienced team and they just want to win, and they're not, it's not a good look, I don't think. Whilst I understand what you're saying, Gav, the SRC is supposed to be there for development, and when you're not really bringing on any Dragons boys, which is what they're there to do, it can look bad, the optics. Do you know what I mean? So I get it, but it's an interesting debate.
yeah, it is an interesting debate, and they're the best side in the league by quite some way at the minute.
They are, yeah.
They're very much so. There are younger players there. They just aren't the Dragons lads. The Dragons lads are mainly playing in under 19s for Dragons. They're not actually getting into their Vale side. But the bench was full of guys in the late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
That
It's interesting.
basically didn't get into the Dragons Academy, but Ebervale have kind of pulled them in from other clubs.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to maybe we'll get to speak to someone from Ebervale on this pod one day, and ask them about it, because this has been a debate that's been rumbling for a little while now about why Ebu don't play Dragons players when that's the whole point in SRC is to play and develop the youngsters. Because I think Carmarthen, when they came to Newport, they had, I was told, 6 or 7 Scarlets in their side, but then you're seeing Ebervale not having any Dragons. Whereas, like I said, there are some injuries in this context, but I
Yeah.
can understand the optics don't look great. I see both sides of the argument, to be honest.
No, it's a debate to be had, but I don't think you can bemoan a side for winning rugby games. You know,
Well,
the
they're
coach,
certainly doing that, in
yeah,
fairness, yeah.
the coach is selecting a side to win games. Uh, but Newport also won 33-7 at the game he was at against Quins.
Yeah.
So, kind of Gwent side's doing well generally in the SRC. In the Prem, Bargoed 33, Narberth 29, and then the other game within the Prem, Cross Keys Astrid Rhondda was postponed. All the games involving Gwent sides in the championship were postponed. In Division 1, only one game played, Abergavenny losing 22-0 at home. All other games postponed. In Division 2, Croeso-Ceiliog 35, Abercarn 32, and Cwmbran 21, Caldecott 12. All the other games were postponed. Only one game happened in Division 3, Fleur-de-Lis beating Chepstow 24-17. Division 4, Crickhowell 17, Whitehead 29, and Pontefract 5, Oakdale 28. All the other games were postponed. And then all games in Division 5 and Division 6 were postponed. In the Dragons Athletic League, only the one game. Monmouth Druids 38, Macon Quarrymen 52. Entertaining rugby down there at Monmouth. And then women's rugby, Celtic Challenge, Gwalia Lightning beat Brython Thunder 38 points to 7. Gwalia Lightning, of course, being the Celtic Challenge side that represents Cardiff and Newport. Only one women's Premier game involving the Gwent side, but that was postponed, Annesty versus Pontyclean. And then in the East Wales, all the games were postponed. So not lots of rugby taking place this weekend.
No.
And also, we also have some news from our friends at the Dragon Supporters Club.
Yep.
All Stars return to action in a round-robin festival at Ebervale on January 17th from 2 p.m. Will it be taking on a team from Bolton and Colwyn Bay? It'll be great getting the crowd behind them. The All Stars are always on the lookout for new players. Also, the Supporters Club are running a supporters trip to Ospreys. To book, visit our website or our social media platforms. Not ours, the Supporters Club.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we have had a number of people asking us, are we going on the trip to Bridgend with the Supporters Club? And I can confirm that we are. Me and Gareth are going. Aren't we, Gareth?
Oi, oi, yeah. And my brother's meeting us there, so that's going to be loud. So I'm sure he's got a few chants up his sleeve already.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Dragons have a 100% win record in Bridgend, don't they, of course?
We do, yeah. Away we're going now.
No, we beat them. We beat Ospreys at Bridgend during the COVID era. So
when we had like Jonah Holmes and
yes, and Ashton Hewitt scored a couple of
Will
tries.
Reed at 10.
I'll have to look at the team. It probably would have been Sam Davis, I'm guessing. But
Yeah.
it was quite a convincing win as well. This wasn't like a fluky last minute win. We actually beat the Ospreys quite convincingly. But we're going to be going to Bridgend because it'll be a laugh. Maybe see some of our Ospreys friends from various pods. So look forward to it. Right. So moving on. Dragons are 13th in the URC.
Oof,
Doesn't that sound
a nosebleed then?
The Dizzying Heights are 13th.
Go on.
7 points ahead of the Scarlets, who are rock bottom, but Scarlets do have a game in hand.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be saying that. Dragons are 13th. Imagine where we'd be if we actually won those games against the Sharks and the Ospreys.
Oh.
2 games that we should have won. Let's be honest about it. If Rodri bothered to look back at Tinas and gave him the ball, that could have been a drop goal and a win. And if Tinas kicked those opportunities against Ospreys, we could be much higher up the table. Encouraging, but also frustrating. But we're 13th. It's just nice not to be in the bottom 2 for now, at least, isn't it?
We'd be 8th.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is nice to see, and to be fair, it's nice to have interest in how other games are going. So, like, I didn't want Edinburgh to win because I was like, I don't want them to overtake us in the table. And I was happy when the Lions beat the Sharks. So the Sharks stay below us, where I haven't really had that interest over the last few. I enjoy watching the other games, but not with any hope or, care in who wins. So just makes everything in life is better after a Dragons win, and
It just feels like we're making strides at the moment, genuine strides. And I don't think
yeah,
I felt that way for a long time, not since Dean Ryan's first season at the Dragons. But
yeah.
onwards and upwards. Like I said, there's a lot of rugby left to be played. We have got some very difficult games coming up,
Oh, yes,
especially
we
in the
do.
URC on the road as well. And that's really going to test us. But I don't think anyone can deny that we're not improving because we are.
Yeah,
We
100%.
absolutely are. So the URC is paused now for a couple of weeks. We're back into European action. And the Men of Gwent have a very tricky trip to Benetton on Saturday afternoon. A tough but winnable game, I would say. Um, Gavin, Benetton away in the Challenge Cup. What are your thoughts heading into this one?
Well, they're a good side. Surprising defeat against Edinburgh this
Yes.
weekend or this week. So, I don't think we can go into it assuming it's going to be easy. But I think we have to go into thinking we can compete against these, we can challenge them.
Yeah, absolutely. Gareth, what are your thoughts heading into this one? Because I have no doubt that Philo TT is going to get the tombola out again, isn't he? He's going to make changes. So the question is, how do you approach this one? Do you think we need to go strong again, or do you think we could actually make a few changes for this one and just see how we get on? Because Benetton
Oh,
is a very tough place to go, and they're going to be angry after losing at home to Edinburgh, aren't they, in the league?
it is. It is tough. It's definitely a tough place to go, but it is a 10-day turnaround for us, which is nice. So the boys have hopefully had a couple of days off, and rightly so. Hopefully they celebrated that Scarlets win. Um, I think we should make changes in the positions where we are strong, so we know we can rotate in the back row. There's some positions where we can freshen things up a little bit, but I still want us to go strong. It's a really tough block coming up, and
Yeah.
I was pretty confident ahead of the block we've just gone through, and rightly so. Oi, oi. Stop that in again.
Nostradamus.
Yeah. But I this block coming up is really hard, and we're in a tough league. Europe's tough. These are tough places to go. I'm not expecting us to go and win, but like we did at the start of the season, I said coming to this block, as long as we keep ourselves in the fight, we will get some games over the line. I think Benetton is going to be tough. If I had the choice, I want to target home games, but it seems like we're away a lot in the near future. Benetton away, okay. Then we got Newcastle home, but then it's Munster away, Ospreys at home. So 3 out of the next 4 are away. It'd be great if we could pick something up on the road. That would be amazing. But if we could get a losing bonus point in Benetton because we stay in the fight, great. And then it's all on that Newcastle game, and that's just a fantastic occasion then to be a part of. And let's see if we can carry on that home form. So
Yeah.
I think there's got to be some changes. You could swap the props around, let Rob Hunt have some sort of breath.
He needs a breather, doesn't he?
We have tried to kill him, but he's been immense as well, hasn't he? He's been so good. But I think there's bigger games for me than Benetton away, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
what do you think?
that's the thing. Well, I don't want to do that thing that other podcasts do when like, oh, pick your match day 23. I can't be asked with all that. I'm not doing it. But I am thinking about what changes will be made. So first of all, yes, I think Robert Hunt needs a breather. Bless him. Do you know what? I want to see Delmani, the South African prop start. I want to see what he's like starting because he's done a decent job off the bench. I still don't know if he's any good though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
know
I'm
what you mean.
thinking,
Yeah.
let's start him. Let's give him his first start and just see how he gets on for 55, 60 minutes. I want to see him start the game. I want a good look at him and see what he's like. Now, an Iron Owen at the end of that Scarlets game was limping right in front of me. So I don't know if he's going to be fit or not. Ackerman has been playing for Newport, played pretty well on the weekend against Carmarthen, but he was playing at 13. I actually think he's a 12.
100% he's a 12.
Oh yeah, he's a
He's
12.
he does a job at 13, don't get me wrong, but for me he's a 12. So I'm wondering if an Iron is not quite there, give him a break,
Hmm.
start Ackerman.
The way we play now, with our 12 wanting to get over people, Ackerman is that guy. He is a powerful 12, and I love his offload game. I'm a massive fan of Ackerman. I mean, I love an Ivan Owen as well. I think we're really lucky to have two quality young Welsh 12s there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I completely
I
agree.
agree. I think I'd bring him in maybe.
And then I have no idea about the rest of the team and what Philo is going to go for. Now, we're told that there are some boys to come back. We don't expect Paya to come back for this one. It might be a couple of weeks. Seb Davis is back in training. Is he someone that comes into the team? I still want Levi in that 23, though, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, because I think he's a really good option. And Benetton are a powerful team.
Yeah.
They're a good team. We have to remember Benetton are basically Italy with a
Yeah.
smattering of really good overseas players. They're a tough. Now, I don't know if they're going to go full
huge
strength.
budget.
Yeah, they've got a huge budget. They're a good team. I don't know if they're going to go full strength because it's a Challenge Cup. They might do. They're at home. It's going to be really tough. But I would like Levi somewhere in the 23. Does Shea Hope start again, or do you put him on the bench? Do you give Rodri a start? I mean, if we're going on form, I don't think I would have Rodri in the team if I'm being brutally honest. You know, we haven't
I
seen
would
much
keep
of.
selecting Shea at the minute.
You would keep playing Shea, or do you
Yeah.
bring Niall Armstrong in because we haven't seen him for a while? At 10, I'm guessing you have to stick with De Beer, don't you? I
Yeah.
don't know what other
Well,
options.
we haven't really got any other options, have we?
No, I expect Rio to come back because he did pull out, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, just before the Scarlets game. And to be fair, mind, you and Ross did a good job. Di Richards, we didn't even speak about Di Richards when we spoke about the Scarlets. He was really good. That finish for his try was pretty excellent.
Class finish.
You
Yeah,
know,
fair play.
Di Richards is a player that he does feel like a stopgap player, doesn't he? Like he's not your first choice wing. He's not your first choice centre. He comes in to do a job and he does it decently.
He's competent, isn't he?
Yeah. He's a competent squad player. So I don't know if he retains his place on the wing. I don't know. It's really tough to call. I don't know how Philo's going to go about it, but I do think there will be a lot of changes. And I think the thing with this game in Benetton, it's not a game that we necessarily need to win, but I think it's a game that we do have to get a match point from.
Yeah.
Because if we get a bonus point on the road, that puts us on 5 points. And then we go into that Newcastle game at home, needed a win. That should be enough to get us out this pool. So I'm looking at the pool now. Benetton the top, play 2-1-2. They got 9 points. Newcastle are second. They've played 2 and 1-2 with 8. Then you got Perpignan on 5 points. You got us on 4. And then the bottom two teams, Lyon and Lions, are on 1. So you'd think they probably won't be interested at this point. You know, they're probably not going to pick their best team. So for me, we have to get something from Benetton. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. It's actually okay. But that home game against Newcastle, that's going to decide whether we make it out of this pool or not. And don't forget, there's 6 teams in a pool. It's the top 4 that go through. So we need to win at least one out of these next 2 games. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether Philo goes strong for this one, or whether he makes changes and then goes strong for Newcastle. But either way, it's going to be really.
The thing is, we're going to lose our Welsh players soon enough anyway, aren't we?
It won't be long before the Six Nations. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's come around so quick, isn't it?
So play him now. Win these, get what we need out of this. Go into knockout.
I think it'd be really nice though if we do get to the knockout stages, because we know we've made strides in the URC, but how good would it be as well? It would just be another confidence booster and another tick in the box, another sign that we're heading in the right direction if we can get out of that pool and go to the knockout stages in Europe when they're,
Yeah. That would be amazing, and like Rodney Parade would be bouncing if we get a home game then as well.
Yeah.
But I do feel now we have got a really tough block of fixtures coming up. We're going to South Africa for 2 games soon as well. And after that, we follow it up with the Bulls at home. We just need to be in the fight, don't we? We'll get something over the line.
The Bulls aren't in a great place at the minute, though.
No, but that doesn't mean we'll beat them either.
They're not.
They are the Bulls, but we have got them at home, so if we can get a bonus point or something out of it. But the problem is because we played so many home games in our first block, because we got shafted yet again by the URC schedulers. we have got a lot of away fixtures, and that's really going to test the character and strength of the squad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good news is we have got boys coming back,
Yeah.
So yeah, but this Benetton game is it's important. We don't, like I said, we don't have to win it, but we need to get something out of it. It's fair to say, and yeah, that's on Saturday afternoon.
Do you know
Right.
what it's on by any chance?
Yes, it's on S4C.
Ah, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, so don't worry, we don't have to pay 7-8 quid to EPCR TV for this one. It will be on
Great
S4C.
stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, let's do our predictions before we wrap up then. Gareth, Benetton v Dragons, what are you going with?
I think we'll lose by 6.
Okay, that means
And I'll take that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Tough place to go.
Yeah, Gavin.
I was going to say Benetton by 6, so I'll say Benetton by 5.
Okay, I'll say Benetton by 4. If we get a bonus point, that'll be okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fine for us. And then we go all out for Newcastle then.
Yes.
And I want us to go play our strongest team at home, keep the home form going. And yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Oh, Newcastle's on a Friday night as well.
It is. 8 o'clock kickoff.
Love a Friday night Watney Parade game. Oof.
It's going to be very interesting. Newcastle won as well on the weekend. They beat Gloucester, their
They
first
did.
win.
Gloucester were dreadful.
Not going so well for Gloucester, is it? Bless them.
Oh,
Now you're
who'd go
Jack
there?
thinking. Now you're Jack must be thinking, what have I got myself into? But nah,
They'll be all right.
they'll be fine. I think they're going to sack George Skivington, and it looks likely that they'll.
That is all the chat, yeah.
Mind you, Quins are bloody awful as well. I don't know what's going on in the Premiership. I know this is not an English Premiership pod, but there's some very good teams in the Premiership and some very bad teams. It's fair to say. Right, Gavin, Gareth, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. How enjoyable was that? It's been a really good month, isn't it? December. I've actually enjoyed talking about the Dragons.
Loving it.
It's been really, really good. I still can't believe those performances. It's just it takes some getting used to, doesn't it? Not just winning, but winning in that manner. But it's been really enjoyable. It's what we deserve, I think. Thank you to our friends at Riverside Sports Bar for their continued support of the pod, and thank you for listening and supporting us. We hope you all have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Up the Dragons.